Hey, cuties. Welcome back to 5 Years Time Podcast. I just want to say first, thank you for your patience and for allowing me to have that lovely break. I decided to take last week off kind of unexpectedly because honestly, I probably could have got the podcast up, but it would have been very stressful. I would have felt overwhelmed and it would have just not been worth it for me. It was better to take the time off. Once I made the decision that I wasn't going to record last week, it's like I was able to embrace what the week had to bring. And that was because Ro was on her spring break. Trevor was going to Vegas. There was so much happening and so much stuff that was switching in my schedule and my normal routine that I just was like, you know what? We're going to talk about it, but sleeping schedules were off. But I just felt so much better with that decision. So thank you for your patience. But we're back, cuties, and it is more than ever spring weather here, which is just amazing. So we've got a big catch up today, I guess. Where to start? Where to start? I spoke on where I've been, but last week we went on a trip to Toronto just for the day, which was so fun. Trevor needed to go in the office for some sort of, whatever meeting, team building, I don't even know. But I remember him saying a couple weeks ago, like, oh, I need to go in the office. Is it okay if I have the car for that day? And I was like, yeah, wait, which day is it? And then he told me, and I was like, oh, yeah, Ro's on spring break. Like, I'll come in too. And then me and Ro can just frolic around the city. And that's exactly what we did. We had so much fun. It was such a long day. And this is our first time being in the city since Ro, or even just having to be out and about of the house for a long period of time since Ro's been potty trained. And wow, you really need to know where all the bathrooms are. But we had so much fun. We went for a brunch and we were going to go hang out with a friend, but things got pushed around and changed, which was totally fine. So we needed to kind of play rogue until we were going to meet up with my sister-in-law, Lauren, for a late lunch and just hang out. So we found this amazing park. And it's so funny because the last time I was in Toronto, we could not find any parks at all. I found one. It took forever, and it was also in the fall. The weather was so crappy that day. I remember it was cold and windy, and it was threatening rain. And it was just not a vibe to find a park. But I literally, I was like, I'm going to pay attention while we're driving in to see if I see any parks. And literally, as we were driving in, I saw one, two, three, four parks. When we went in last time, we stayed in a hotel that was more central, right downtown Yonge and Dundas. Where here we were still downtown, but more Spadina West End. Bathurst, all that. And it was, oh my gosh, I just have to tell you, I'm a West End cutie forever and ever. I grew up in the West End. I know the West End, I'm familiar with it, but it's just good vibes in the West End. There were so many lovely parks, and just everywhere I walked had nice places to stop or things to see, or very much libraries and family oriented things as well. So it was really great. And it just relit my love for Toronto, which can be dangerous because I don't live there anymore, and I was trying to get over the fact that I don't live there anymore. Not really. I'm actually so happy we don't live in the city, but it's nice to go down for a trip, a weekend here, there, a day there. It is nice. And so anyways, we had a lovely day. We went for brunch first at a cafe. I believe it's called, I always say it wrong. Laundwer. Oh my gosh, I'm going to say it wrong. I don't know. But anyways, I love it there because they have shakshuka, and I always get that. And they have all the salads and dips, and it's so, so good. And it's just such a vibe in there. And then we hit up some park, and we could have literally spent all day there, except for we were running out of bathroom options. I didn't want to keep going back to the same place because that would have been repetitive. Oh, let me buy something so I can use your bathroom. So we continued on, but we stayed there for quite a while, and it was so fun. It was so nice. And I'm trying to think of what it was called. I think it's called St. Andrew Park. And they're actually behind there. There's I think it's a condo. And then in the base of the condo, they've built this beautiful building that I think is going to be a food market this summer. It said opening 2023. And I assume it kind of looked like it was going to be almost St. Lawrence vibes, but more shishi, I think. And it's going to have a bunch of a fancy food court. It's going to have a bunch of food vendor stands within it or whatever. And I was like, wow, I would literally live here. That sounds fabulous. So yeah, it was really good vibes. And then we headed down to the lake and it was a beautiful walk. We stopped in at Kettleman's. I didn't know there was a Kettleman's downtown. I know there's one in Etobicoke. We picked up some bagels and thankfully they had a charger because my phone was like on the verge of dying. I wanted to bring a battery pack with me and I couldn't find my battery pack anywhere. I have one. It's pink. It's beautiful. I haven't used it for years because I'm literally always at home. So I like had no idea where it was. And I remember all night I like kept thinking like, oh, I wish I had that battery pack. Like I won't have a chance to buy one because we're going in at like 6 in the morning. And I was like, "Okay, I'll bring a charger cable just in case." And then we stopped so many places, no outlets, but Kettleman's. I wasn't even gonna stop to eat there. But Ro was like, "I want my bagel now." And I was like, "Okay, let's stop." And I knew they had a bathroom. And then they had the cables or outlets, but they even had the USB outlet too, which is just like primavera. I don't know what primavera means, but great. Um, and so that was really great. And then we continued walking. We stopped at the library for a bit. And then we finally got down to the water and it was so lovely. It's so peaceful down there. Like I'm sure in the summer it's hustling and bustling, but still so peaceful. We went for sushi with Lauren and Ro fell asleep on me, which was so cute. Like she never does that. She never even did that. Like she did that when she was a baby, like within the first month or whatever. She would sleep on me all the time. But like other than that, she's always been a hands-off sleeper. And it was just so sweet. Like she just like sat on my lap and then next thing she was asleep. I was about to say, like, think I literally said, like, oh, Ro, if you feel like you're going to fall asleep, like, let me put you in the stroller. And Lauren's like, oh, she's out. And it was so cute. Then we hit up some gelato or a gelato place after and got some gelato. And it was a really lovely visit. Then Ro really wanted to go in the streetcar, and we only had a few stops to go to get back to Trev after work. But I was like, okay, let's go on the streetcar. So we went on the streetcar. Ro was so excited. And then we met up with Trev. And I wasn't sure if he was going to be staying late. It was about 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock. I wasn't sure if he was going to be like going out after work with friends or with the people he works with. And so I wasn't sure if me and Ro needed to go find dinner somewhere or whatever. So we went and met up and he said he was done for the day. So we headed home and it was a really lovely day, but we were exhausted. Like the next day, oh my gosh. So Ro was on Easter holiday or like spring break. So she was off the next day and we just had like such a chill day. And I'm pretty sure it was like not nice out either. It was like a perfect day to have a very, very, very chill day. And then I'm trying to think what we did the rest of the week. Like, I feel like Wednesday, I literally have no idea what we did. We must have gone grocery shopping at some point. And then Thursday, I had to drive Trevor to go to the airport to get on a flight to Vegas. And he was having a boys' weekend. And I got my hair cut. So if you're on the video or follow me on Instagram or I mean TikTok, you've seen it too. But I got my hair cut. And on Wednesday night before my appointment, I was like, I booked this appointment a couple months earlier. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to get a trim. And then the night before, I was like, what a waste. Like, cut it. And I'm always like that. I'm so fickle with my hair. So, yeah, anyways, I decided like we're going for the bob and I am literally so happy about it. I absolutely am obsessed. And all of you are so obsessed if you follow me on TikTok or Instagram. It's actually so sweet. So thank you. But yeah, it's so fun and I've watched it. I always love like getting a blowout or whatever, but it's so my favorite thing after a haircut is washing it and like seeing how it dries and figuring out how to style it for like your hair texture. And I have like my hair's like always way wavier and curlier when it's shorter like this. But oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Me and Ro went Thursday night to the outlet mall to go get some hair accessories because I knew I was just going to want to like have fun things going on and new little clips and whatever. And then we also ended up going a little bit of shopping, some spring shopping. There were such amazing deals. I got 2 pairs of these Levi jeans, which I'm absolutely obsessed with. I believe they're called the rib cage ankle, straight ankle. And they're at the outlet with $39.99 for a pair, which I just thought was like, I tried them on and I was they were originally $100 or 100 and something. And I tried them on and I was like, oh, I really can't bring myself to spend this much on a pair of jeans. And then the guy was like, oh, if you buy 2, it's this much. And I was like, maybe. And then I like went over and I was like, oh no, they're actually $39.99 like in my head. So I went up to the cash and I was like, hey, how much are these? And she's like, let me just scan them. It's like, yeah, I'm getting them, getting 2 pairs because I love them. And it is so rare for me to find a pair of jeans that I just like actually find so comfortable. But another thing on that is like I feel like the last time I was wearing jeans like before I was before I was pregnant when skinny jeans were like a thing. And I feel like skinny jeans like were just never, they were just tight, right? So they were never like comfy. Where now like loose jeans are more in style and definitely wider legs and whatever. And another trick there is I size up and it's like a game changer. It's comfy right off the bat and it's not too baggy, like it still fits me, but it's just so wonderful. So that's like a trick that I started doing and it like is all the difference. Yeah, but anyways, then we had it home and we had this amazing dinner. I was making pretzel buns that day. So we had pretzel buns, salami sandwiches with this potato salad, which was out of this world. And I literally just ate for lunch right now or for a snack before recording is I've been taking the leftover potato salad because I made not so much, but it was only me and Ro and she didn't like the potato salad. So it was only me having this potato salad and I did not want to waste it. So I've been making not flour. Well, I guess there's flour in it, but I'm making potato salad pancakes with them. Oh my gosh. They're literally amazing. I just used up the last of it. And I did record a TikTok because I was like, I'd been making it and I was like, oh, no one's going to care about this. And then I was like, no, at this point, like, we need to share this because it is the best thing ever. And if you ever have leftover potato salad, you need to make potato salad pancakes. It's so, so easy. You just fry them at the pan. They get golden crispy on the outside and they're still creamy on the inside. Oh, they're so good. Yeah, so that was something really exciting. And then on Friday, me and Ro, I can't even think like what we did, but we did have a wonderful day. I'm pretty sure throughout the day. I think we um went outside, hung out. I remember it was cold, but it was so sunny. And then in the evening, we went to my mom's for dinner, and it was for the fish fry that was happening. I think it's like once a month, but this one was like the Good Friday fish fry, and it was immaculate from like the Lions Club. It was so good. So we had our fish fry, we iced Easter cookies with my mom, and then we had it home. And then on Saturday, me and Ro had such a fun day, and it just reminded me of like the warmer weather and just like made me super sentimental to like past seasons of doing this. But we woke up and we went out on an adventure, got in the car, went for a walk, found a beautiful park, and then went for lunch. We went and got um, some pizza from Grist, which is in Niagara on the Lake, and it's a brewery, and they make really good pizza. They have lots of other stuff too, but nothing like pizza and beer. And I had this sour. I'm not a huge beer person. There's very specific ones I like, and I'm definitely more of a fruity beer person, if anything. Like I used to love Shock Top, but I overdid it one summer, but I used to love it, which is orange. But anyways, this was a sour, and why I had to get it was because it was prickly pear, and I absolutely was obsessed with prickly pear last summer. I made this prickly pear syrup and put it in everything, and guava. It was prickly pear and guava, and it was this really refreshing sour. It was so good. I'm already thinking like, oh, okay, who wants to go get pizza and beer with me next? I want to go there so bad again. But yeah, that was really lovely. We had a lovely lunch, headed home. And I think we had a really relaxing rest of the day. Spent some time outside, um, and spend some time inside, and that's it. And then on Sunday we had Easter and we went to church and we went to my mom's for our like big family Easter. And then we saved our like little family Easter, me, Trevor, and Ro, until Monday because Trevor came home on Monday. And we had yeah, so then on Monday we had our Easter where I set up the basket and the little egg hunt for Ro. And that was really lovely. And I feel like we did other things on Monday. Trevor was off work. What did we do? Oh yeah, Trevor went to the pool with Ro and I was able to just like catch up on a little bit of stuff that I hadn't had time to do over the past few days. And then we went and saw the Sonic movie. No, not Sonic. Mario movie. And it was so cute. And Ro was so excited for that. So we went and saw that movie. And then we had burritos for dinner and it was delicious. And now we're here on Tuesday. And it's been such a really warm and welcoming week to spring and spending time with Ro. And just like it was a great balance of all things. Okay, let's get into our snack and drink of the week. Okay, cuties, for my drink of the week, I went on live on Friday with the cuties on TikTok. and I haven't been on live in forever, and it was so fun. I was on for like 3 hours. I stayed on there until like 11:30, which is like way past my bedtime. But I had opened a bottle of prosecco for dinner to have a little glass, and then I realized I don't have a topper for it, so I was like, "Oh, okay." So I was having more than a little glass. But anyways, I still have a little bit of leftover, and I was about to drain it out of the fridge because I had some left. And I was like, "Oh, it's not gonna be good anymore." It's been like a weekend of it just being open, and then I poured it out to just take a little sip. I was like, "Oh, it's actually still good." So that being said, we're having a prosecco this week, a little midday prosecco pick me up. Nothing like a glass of prosecco after lunch while recording the podcast. I don't think we've ever. Oh no, I do have one episode where I've had like an alcoholic drink. Me and Lauren back in the day, first season, I think we did Truth or Drink, and that was a fun time. That was more intense than this, but we're having a glass of prosecco today. So cheers, cuties. Let's have a sip. It is the season for bubbly, fun wines and patio season, winery season. Oh my gosh, I'm craving winery season. That being said, there's so many wineries. As a little side note, I'm just gonna put my cup down. Wait, let me take more sip. Actually, might as well keep it in my hand. There are so many wineries here and breweries and distilleries and so much. And literally, I swear, so many pop up every single year. You'll drive somewhere you have driven so many times and be like, whoa, I didn't realize that was there. Or like, oh, how long has that been there? And so I was thinking this summer, this is to be just spitballing, but I was thinking this summer of starting a new series on TikTok, spring, summer, and fall. I feel, I mean, like, we'll see, but for sure, I want to do it this summer. It would be so fun. Is like Wine Wednesday, and I take you along for a trip to a winery. Like every Wednesday, I do a trip to a winery and I share the experience. And because, like, what I've learned about wineries is like they all have something different to offer. Some have food, some don't have food, some have like full sit down, some have just nibbly bits. Tastings are different. Um, the like the appeal, not the appeal, but like the experience you get at the tasting. Like I feel like some tastings and some wineries are definitely directed to like a certain age group or category, where some are like definitely for like younger people and they're so fun and hip, and I don't know, there's like all different stuff. But I was thinking it'd be fun, and then that way I would push me to like go out and see more wineries and like get accustomed to more things around me and experience more things, and it would be like a win-win for everyone. So I was thinking about starting that as a series. If Wine Wednesday is something you'd be interested in, also tasting wine and finding out what the new things are. Like I remember the first time I went to Consulman's and I had their peach wine and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best to make cocktails ever. Even when I went there this winter to do their ice wine tasting, I've never liked ice wine. But a little ice wine in this prosecco would just be mwah, chef's kiss. Like they had such creative things. So I love when wineries like share new ways to like use wine other than just drinking it. But then I also love just like drinking it too. But anyways, if Wine Wednesday is something you'd be interested in, I think it would just be fun, summery, and warm weather, bright, colorful, just like a good time. And it'd be a fun vlog for me to edit and create. So yeah, I think that would be fun. Okay, anyways, my snack of the week is a nice box of chocolates. So Purdy's had sent me over a box of chocolates and actually a few Easter goodies for their like Easter 2023 whatever launch or like collection. And I told myself I was going to gift myself the box of chocolates. Well, I guess Purdy's gifted to me, but for Easter. So I finally got it on Easter. And fun fact about me is I love Purdy's. Purdy's was our wedding chocolate boxes. It's so good. Like their chocolate is so yummy. And another fun fact about me is growing up, my brother used to pick me up from school and we would go to like Laura Secord and we would pick out like a chocolate, like a truffle, or a couple truffles, and then like head home and have our truffles. And that was like such a good memory of my like childhood. And actually, there's a chocolate shop here that like in the summertime I love to walk to and just pick out a truffle or a couple truffles. And it's just like something so nice. And it's one of those things that like I I don't mind, like, I like going out for coffee, especially with people, and, like, I love Starbucks Friday, but, like, if I need an excuse to leave the house, I don't wanna go buy a coffee because I have coffee here, I have a coffee maker, I can make nice coffee that I like and enjoy or whatever. But like going out to get a nice chocolate, it's not like gonna break the bank, and it's like an experience, and you're getting out of the house. And if you can walk, you're going on a walk. Anyways, my snack of the week is a nice box of chocolates because I have thoroughly been enjoying waking up. And on the weekend, what I was doing was having a chocolate with my coffee in the morning. And it was just like so nice getting to pick one of the chocolates and really enjoy every bite of it and have it with my coffee. You all know I love a nice bitter coffee with a sweet on the side, and that's just perfection. But now that it's the weekdays, I've been really enjoying having a coffee while I go pick up Ro. So I have my afternoon coffee in the car while I go to pick up Ro, and so I've been making that as like a little, it's a nice transition from like day work to full on mom work. Like I love it. It's like a little like transformation experience or treat. And so that little cup of coffee. And so now I've been picking out my truffle. Well, I'm going to do it today. I haven't done it since Ro just started back at school today. Pick out my truffle on the way to school. It's going to be so amazing. Like literally that makes me so happy. So this is my sign to you. If you have not treated yourself to some really lovely chocolate lately, go do it. You deserve it. And this chocolate box, I was not expecting it to be so beautiful. Like literally it was so colorful. There's all different things. They're all so beautiful. Like, oh, it's just a whole experience. Anyways, that's my snack and drink of the week. So let's hop into this week I learned. This week I learned it's time to embrace change. So this week, I feel like Rosie helped me learn this week's lesson. I've spoken a lot about going with the flow and embracing what life has to offer, which I think has to do with change. And I think I've spoken about change and accepting change, but like, I think I like learned something new about what change actually is. And so this past month has been a roller coaster of a ride at bedtime for Ro. Like she was ready for change and I was not ready to accept it or even like think it or anything. Like even just like I don't know. So Ro has always been an amazing sleeper. She's always gone to bed early. She's always had amazing naps, amazing night sleep. I've always got that evening time to myself. Like it's literally what like fuels me as a mother. And I feel like this past month, her bedtimes have just been pushed later and later. Not necessarily her bedtime. Like we've done the same bedtime routine, but then I would lay with her and she would play for like hours. Like it would be like almost 9 o'clock and we'd get ready for bed at like be in bed by 6:30. Um, but she'd be going to sleep at like 9 o'clock. And then I would either fall asleep with her because I was in there for so long, or I would come out and then I knew normally go to bed at like 9:30. And so then it was like I missed out on like getting to watch my shows or having to or getting to make snacks or even just getting to do some like extra work that I needed to get done. Any of those things. And I think I was getting even more stressed about it because I was like, oh no, we're going into like the nicer months where I love that time after I put her to bed where I can go out and swim in the pool or hang out on the deck or just like have a glass of wine by the fire, like chill. It's just like I was like really worried. I was like, oh no, is like this the new new? But I wasn't opening my mind to allowing anything different. Like I was like, no, there's no way she's giving up her nap. Like there's no way she wants a later bedtime because even when I would push her bedtime to maybe 7, I feel like it would be the same thing. So I was like, I don't know what's happening. Um, but I knew that dropping the nap was really scary for me, especially because I feel like I thrived in that time in the middle of the day. Well, and especially having her home last week. Like not necessarily for school. It doesn't matter if she has the nap or not. It depends what the teachers want or what works well for the classroom. But I know that if she's not going to sleep at school, then she's going to have quiet time. And I'm fine with quiet time. But at the same time, I really love that nap because it would be like 2 hours where I could either nap or have just a break or get some work done or reset something in the house. Like it was really just like, this wonderful thing. So, anyways, I'm realizing that change is more than just a new routine or trying to find comfort in a new phase of your life. I feel like for so long, I was mixing up change. Like I was thinking like a change of routine, but then trying to implement newness into an old routine. Um, if that makes sense. So, for example, like when I used to work in a workplace, it was like, okay, I'd go to work, I'd have my coffee, I'd say good morning to everyone, I'd go to my desk, I'd open my emails, blah, 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 whatever the routine of work was. So now that I work at home, it's like, okay, how can I create that? Even when I was working from home too, but like for another company. But now that I work for myself, it's like, okay, how can I create that same routine, but for myself, but with my job for myself? And that's what I was working so hard on trying to do. But now I'm realizing it's like, no, 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 no. It's actually like a whole different ballgame, a whole different routine, a whole new thing. And once I embraced that, um, and I think really it's only been like this past month where I've started to embrace that, I've realized how much more flexibility I have and time I have and ability I have to do things that I really want to do, and even just direct my attention in the right places at the right time for what works for my family right now, which is amazing. And I'm so grateful for that. But I feel like I was always trying to like replicate an old routine with newness, thinking that that was change, where change is actually pushing yourself completely out of your old comfort and accepting and embracing whatever is coming at you, and how that can be like totally the opposite of what you were doing before. Um, and anyways, that's just been like, I've just been having like these epiphanies after epiphanies where it's like, oh, I wasn't actually accepting change. I was just trying to create an old routine with newness, which I think I've done in so many areas of my life, like with friendship, with um, routine, with work, with even just like with family life, with Row always growing and changing. I feel like I've always tried to like recreate a routine that we've always had, where it's like, no, our routine is forever going to be changing and growing. But it's about time. It's, it's about time that I just like appreciate it, this phase of life that I'm in, where I really do have this flexibility to embrace change head on and give it the attention it needs, where I feel like we all should be taking that opportunity. But I really do have that opportunity now to like play around with it. And the thing is, not every day is going to be perfect, and weeks will be harder than others, but like, and trial and error is the best thing you can do. And I think that's one thing that always scares me, especially when it comes to, this is where I put this in together with Rose sleep schedule, was trial and error scares me with Rose sleep schedule, because I always feel like, oh, what if I try and then it's like a waste, and then I find like, oh, that was like 3 weeks of like the worst thing of my life. But it's like, you don't know until you try, and a lot of the times trial and error gets you to where you need to be. And so it's about being open to saying bye to things that brought you comfort or maybe even joy at one point in your life, and saying hello to the other side of the door. Seriously, like, I feel like sometimes I feel like for me, why would I say bye to something that brought me so much happiness? But if really that happiness is rooted in something that doesn't even necessarily exist anymore, like it's old and it's dated and it doesn't really happen anymore, then like why try to replicate something like when there could be something totally amazing that's meant for you on the other side? We don't know what the future holds, and I'm working hard on not limiting myself. I'm working so hard on not limiting myself. I'm surprised daily by what I do that limits me, from like negative self-talk to letting a low moment control the rest of my day. I feel like we are truly our worst enemies, and we need to back ourselves and really have this mindset that what feels right for us is meant to be for us, and what brings us joy and fuels us and brings us excitement and exhilaration, like that's good. Don't let yourself talk yourself down, and don't let anyone else around you be like, oh, why would you want to do that, or like down talk your dreams, because they don't have the same mindset as you. Like they're not on the same life path as you, where you're not on the same life path as them, so you're not always going to see like eye to eye, right? But once I gave up control of routine, that I've come accustomed to, um, like of the routines that I've had for so long, at least for like my adult life, um, once I gave up that control, I found so much joy and newness that I never knew could exist. Like even just within the past month, it's like I finally let go of trying to fit into a routine that used to find me comfort with my new life and just accept what my new life is and let that be what it's supposed to be, oh, it is game changing. I'm interested to see what happens with my life as I let go of old comforts and embrace new adventures. Like, I think fear and excitement can be one and the same sometimes. And I think in this circumstance, it really is. Like, I think what I fear right now is actually needs to, like, it's excitement. Like, it's like, oh, new, nervous. Like, it's good. Um, and on bringing it back to Rose sleep, like, once I finally let go of that control and I embraced what the change was going to be, I dropped her nap. Oh, that was scary. And I pushed her bedtime back by half an hour. And last night was just the cherry on the cake. It'd been probably 3 really good nights of sleep in a row where she was going to sleep at like an appropriate time. Well, not like appropriate in the sense that like she was going to sleep at like 7:15. We'd read 3 books and she would just like zonk out. Yesterday was like the cherry on the cake because we always watch a couple episodes of Bluey. So I think we watched 2 episodes of Bluey and we had time for one more. So I asked her, do you want one more? And she said, nope, it's time for bed. And she just walked to her room and she was ready for her books and ready for bed. And like I had been craving a moment like that after the month we've had of literally just like back and forth, not wanting to go to bed. So it just was like a real moment of clarity for me where it was like, you got to let go of control. You got to embrace the change. You got to step into the unknown and you got to let yourself just like live without thought of a lot of things. Like, I think we think too much, overthink too much. So that's where we're at. This week, I learned it's time to embrace change. And I really encourage everyone to look into their life and see what in your life might not be making you feel the best, or maybe it is feel maybe you're thinking that you're striving towards something that made you feel good before, but maybe that's not what you should be striving for. Maybe that path isn't, you're not going to get back to where you felt before. That was the past. There's something better out there for you. We've got to open our minds, stop limiting ourselves, embrace change. But this week I learned. Okay, let's hop into our rose, buds, and thorns. Okay, rose, buds, and thorns, cuties. My rose was having the house to myself. That's always such a treat. I made sure to embrace every moment of it. There's like this running joke that Trevor always goes away on a boys' trip in the summertime with his friends. And it's like, I get the house. I think he's done it even before we were married. So yeah, we didn't live together until we were married. But so every year that we've been living together, I've gotten this like 4 or 5 day period where I get the house to myself. And it's just so nice. Like, as someone who loves alone time, and it's nothing about Trevor. It's just, we as humans, we live with family and then we are on our own in this world and then we're with someone for the rest of our life who like you have to just always be around all the time. Like, sometimes you just want to be alone, you know what I mean? And so my favorite part is just I love to clean. And then just every moment that I'm in the house, I appreciate every clean surface. That when I return to the kitchen, there's no new dishes because I'm the only one who would have dishes to bring back. And I would wash them right away or put them in the dishwasher. That the bathroom is always nice and the bed always looks good. There's no random socks anywhere. Um, just playing your own music, not being weary of people working, it's just so lovely and very refreshing. So, yeah, having the house to myself is definitely my rose. That being said, I love having Trevor here. Okay, this isn't a hit on Trevor. Obviously, I married him. He's awesome. Okay, but the weather this week, it's supposed to be high teens. It already is. Yesterday was glorious. Today is the only overcast day of the day, and it's already had the sun shining through. It's so lovely. Like, it is so lovely. Literally before this, me and Trevor put out the cushions and the carpets yesterday on our deck and on our furniture. And today we have like an awning. And today the awning people showed up. I knew they were coming sometime in April, but they always just show up. And they showed up today and they put the awning on. And literally, once they put that awning on, it just transports me into the state of mind of summer fun. Like, it just feels so good. So I'm so excited about that. But that leads me to my thorn. Oh, I did my bud before my thorn. Whoopsies, but but that was a good a good segue. But that leads me to my thorn. I'm feeling overwhelmed about the garden. Like, I've been saying all year I want to be the gardening goddess, and I really do. And I just keep feeling more and more overwhelmed by it all. But I think I'm at this point where I need to just clean the yard. I'm just going to clean up the sticks and the leaves and all that. And then we will get some YouTube videos out and find out where to start next. Yeah, I just want to do a little bit every day. And I think cleaning is going to be the first place to start, especially right now, because that's like the time. The weather's just getting warmer. It's perfect time to be out. So I actually, yesterday when we were setting up the furniture and the carpets on the deck, I had to like sweep off and get a bunch of the sticks and stuff, but I just stuck them in a pile because I ran out of the compost bags, like the big brown paper bags. So I'm going to go after school with Ro to Canadian Tire and pick up some of those. And then hopefully she'll want to get out in the yard with me and we can just start picking up some sticks and raking some leaves and really just like, cleaning the slate before we start with the next things. So it's going to be okay, but I just need to put it out there. I'm feeling overwhelmed, which is usually where I get stopped. I'm like, okay, like it's too much, but I really want to do it this year. I really, really do. Okay. Entertainment recap. Entertainment recap. Entertainment recap. Oh no, I have a couple more sips. Let's take a sip of Prosecco. Okay. I started Love Island season 4, Australia. I'm not sure if I told you that. I'm not sure. I feel like I started that last week, but I can't remember. I'm watching it slower than I watched season 3 only because I had Ro and no nap times and I was just like busy, 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 but I'm really enjoying it. I feel like I like season 3 better. Like season 3 was more captivating right off the bat. Like if you are looking for Love Island to watch to hold you until the next UK, or if you just haven't watched Love Island and you like Australians, then you need to watch season 3 of Love Island Australia. I watched it on Hey You. It was so good. Like it was so, so good. But anyways, I'm watching season 4. There's not one character yet that I'm like in love with, but I think there's only been one elimination. So we're only about 2 weeks in. I don't even think we're 2 weeks in. So there's still time for me to fall in love. And that's usually how Love Island is for me. Usually it takes time. But this past season 3, was captivating right off the bat. Summer House, I'm watching Summer House, but I gotta tell you, I'm finding this season a bit boring. But that being said, I'm still enjoying it. It brings me so much comfort. Like literally it brings me so much comfort. I don't know why, but something about that show is like a hug at the end of the day. So I'll continue watching it and I'm like not hating on it. And it might get spiced up again. I haven't watched last week's episode, Kyle's birthday. I think that was last week. So I haven't watched that one yet, but I'm still really enjoying it. But I will say it's just definitely a slower season. I think that's all I'm watching, but someone did say that I should start watching Desperate Housewives, which I have only seen like an episode here or there back when it was on TV and I wasn't actually really paying attention. Like maybe my mom had it on in the background or she was watching it and I was like in the room. Yeah, so I don't know anything about it, but someone said that I got to watch it. So let me know if Desperate Housewives is something that I should watch because, I'm always up for new TV. Okay. And we also started, I forgot, me and Trevor, we started, what's back? Yellow Jackets. So we watched the first episode of Yellow Jackets and I'm very excited that it's back, but also it's kind of creepy. So it's always like, okay. And then as for music, I've been like in total, just like I want my windows down. I want to jam, warm weather. So check out my Spotify playlist for any of the new music I'm listening to. I will always put it over there. And of course, entertainment for you. We have my weekly vlog. You can go check out on YouTube. You can go subscribe over there. We have a weekly vlog on Sundays, and I also upload our podcast there on Wednesdays if you're a visual person. And I also just want to shout out my TikTok if you're looking for any really fun recipes. I'm totally feeling inspired by food at the moment, which I mean, I usually am, but like I'm really feeling inspired and by the warm weather. And right now, this week especially is very much focusing on like easy breezy meals that you either like eat outside or you just throw together to like support how beautiful the weather is going to be so that you can spend more time outside and less time in the kitchen. I'm also sharing that potato pancake recipe, which is just like, or potato salad pancake recipe, which is just like beyond. You got to check that one out. But yeah, and also another note is to follow me. I literally told Trevor not to. I literally told Trevor that I was recording the podcast and not to come in. Sorry, I'm saying this because Trevor just brought me something. I don't even know what this is, Trevor. Some pita chips. Oh, cinnamon. They sound like a beaver tail, or they smell like a beaver tail. Okay, wait, we're going to do a live taste test, but I just need to tell you, I literally told Trevor I was recording the podcast because the last 2 times I recorded the podcast, I normally don't let him know. Like, he knows that I record on Tuesday, but I normally am not like, oh, I'm recording the podcast. And he has like yelled after me both those times. For I don't even know what reason. Like maybe he was asking me a question, but he didn't realize I was recording. So it's like all I hear is Trevor like yelling from downstairs, and I'm like, I'm recording the podcast. So I went up to him today and I was like, hey, I'm recording the podcast, just so you know, don't yell. And then I just heard him coming up the stairs, and I was like, okay, what is he doing? And he was coming into this room, and I was like, okay, maybe he needs like a sweater or something. And then he opened up the door, and I was like, okay, is he playing a trick on me? Anyways, he brought me a snack, so let's try it. It looks to be tortilla, and it has lemon, and it smells like cinnamon sugar, which is giving me beaver tail vibes because my favorite beaver tail is the one with cinnamon sugar and lemon. I wonder if he fried it or if he baked it, but it literally smells so good. Oh my gosh, what the heck? Okay, I just put the lemon on. I'm going to show the camera. Look at that. Okay, let's take a bite. Mmm. It's like a mix of Taco Bell's cinnamon twist and a beaver tail. Yum. Oh my gosh. Was he just feeling inspired to make this? I'm excited to go ask him what his thought process was there, especially because these tortillas were in the freezer. So he would have had to pull them out of the freezer. But maybe he was craving something sweet. But we also have so much Easter candy. I'm just so intrigued as to why he thought to make this on his lunch break. Anyways, I have food in my mouth. Let's finish off the Prosecco. Cheers, cuties. What a wonderful recording. And what I was going to say was to make sure you're following me on Instagram at 5 Years Time Podcast, because I will always post my updates about the podcast. Like I usually always upload, like, you know, I'm a reliable queen, but in circumstance of last week, or if I'm sick, or if anything ever happens, I always post over there that there's not going to be a new episode. And also I put my weekly photo dump. If you want some visuals, you can go check out all the photos of what I've been up to in that week. It's super cute. Oh, I love you all so much. I'm so grateful for this community. Oh, and I am in the works of trying to get some like meetup workshops going for this warm season. I'd really love to start more community involvement, getting everyone together and doing some fun things this summer, because I know that's something I crave and I would love to get to meet you guys. So that's something that I'm in the works of. If there's anything that you would love to do or think would be fun, reach out to me, DM me, email me, let me know. Or if you have any like connections, or if you yourself run workshops for like group environments, or have like, I don't know, a farm or whatever, tell me. Like, let me know, and maybe we can like collab. That would be so fun. So love you all. Sending hugs, sending kisses, wishing you a beautiful week ahead. Mwah, 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 mwah. Bye, cuties.